All right. So what we're doing here is we're drawing the werewolves from The Howling and from An American Werewolf in London. That would be David from the An American Werewolf in London movie, and also Eddie, the serial killer from The Howling. My personal favorite is The Howling, as far as like, I guess, yeah, favorite like werewolf movie. But I really also like the Wolfman with Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro. That's probably my favorite, but it's I'd say it would be tied with Wolfman and The Howling. I just really love The Howling. I have trouble comparing the two for some reason. I just like them both a lot. American Werewolf in London, that one, that one's pretty good too. A lot of people say that's like the best werewolf movie ever made. That new trailer just dropped right now for Werewolf. That was pretty cool. It looks pretty badass, and it's looking like he's gonna be hopefully turning into a werewolf. That was my like main concern. I just hope we see a creature in that movie, but yeah, we probably will. I'm about 90% sure, because when you hear the Foley, you can hear like the bones cracking and stuff like that, and you can hear the wolf kind of coming through his voice a little bit. And then they're already showing like levitation and like seances and stuff like that, So I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with it, what Eggers is gonna do with it. But let's work on this right now. So this is something that I had people vote on a while ago, back around Halloween, and I finally gonna get around to it. So I'm drawing this, and I'm gonna do this little fight right here, and then I'm gonna draw something later after this. I don't mean today, but I already have the next stream lined up of what I want to draw. Let's see here. Never watched The Howling. I'm probably going to later. Thanks for stopping by, KSS. Yeah, that's my favorite werewolf movie, and it's really grimy and dirty too. It's got a really cool storyline, just like set up. Even if it wasn't like werewolves, like if you were to take the werewolves out and make it like cannibals, it would still be a scary movie, dude. But the werewolves in there is fantastic. The transformation scene in there is epic. And the makeup effects artist is Robert Boutin. He did the Thing. He did RoboCop, and I also think he did Legend, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did Legend. So like Meg Mucklebones, and the actor that plays Eddie, his name's Robert Picardo. He also played Meg Mucklebones in Legend, and he's pretty much famous for he was a character in Star Trek. I never got into Star Trek, but I know he was like a pretty popular character on there. And he was also in The Wonder Years. That was a show I did watch, and he was the coach for PE class. So he's chewing on gum and stuff. But yeah, go watch The Howling, man. It's fantastic. It's directed by Joe Dante. He did Gremlins and a bunch of other awesome movies as well. But The Howling is like his masterpiece, his Psyopus. Let's see. So it's kind of hard. At first I thought that maybe the werewolf from The Howling would take him out, But it's hard now, and I'm thinking David's pretty strong. He's got a better center of gravity, He's just a big tank that's down here on the ground. So right off the bat, when he comes down and he could bite his leg just like that. He's just this big bear wolf, super big. And he's going to have all that power, like just down there, like on the earth, if you will. Just, the gravity's going to be pulling down. He's got that center of gravity. So if he bites him on the leg, man, he gets that chicken leg, that drumstick, then he is done, son. Then it's, he's dog meat, So that by default, this could be like a layout right here. Something like that. But I'd have to make him bigger. He's like biting the legs, something like that. But I wasn't. This is something that kind of popped in my head today. And then you'd have like the slaughtered lamb right here in the background from the movie. The bar, I want to have the pub right there in the background, something like that. Then I also thought of something like this, where it was like a long wide shot. I was thinking about doing this, where they're kind of fighting out on the moors. You could do 11 or 17 by 11. A big wide shot. We could have something like kind of like this. With the slaughtered lamb kind of right here. Maybe like that. They're standing right there. Got the slaughtered lamb right there. The sign would probably just pop up like that. There's a slaughtered lamb. Like that. And then you have Eddie right here. Something. Let me see. He's got a crazy body structure. And to me, he looks like a Bernie Wrightson wolf. It's just something like Bernie Wrightson would draw. The one from the Howling. Let's see. Not to sound crazy, but I've had enough proof that werewolves and dogmen exist. Oh, yeah? That's crazy. Well, there's all kinds of stuff out there, you know. And then I was going to have David kind of jumping through the air like this. And kind of biting his rib cage. Like that. Or biting his side. And then maybe, because it's got to look cool, you know. Probably put another arm coming through like that. You got the speed, because you never see David jump in the movie. You just see him running around. But I'm pretty sure that wolf could jump. They just never happened. And you don't really see it run either, you know. But he gets up pretty high. Like he could. I mean, that guy came out of the. You know what? I think he did jump actually, because the dude that came out of that theater, that corn theater at the end of the movie, that cop, he just jumps. I think David's head is like right there, like so that was like 5 feet in the air, and he bites it off. So he probably did jump right there theoretically. So. I guess that my argument would be he was either on a car or he was jumping through the air. I don't think he has a tail either. So I wouldn't mind if he was clawing at maybe a leg and biting. And then this guy's coming down right here. Maybe ripping. Eddie's ripped, like took like a big rip out of his back maybe, and maybe he's coming like that. Down. It's hard too to get like you can make it look lifelike and I mean if you're a good artist and badass, but sometimes when you do that, you have to sacrifice like what you're gonna see as the what you're gonna see for like the wolf. So if I have David biting the Eddie wolf, you're not going to see his face that much, you know, the wolf's face. His eyes are going to be squinted. His teeth are going to be sunken in. It'll look cool, like a little fight, but I kind of want to see. I kind of like to pose him a little bit, you know. So right now we're just doing the layouts, and then eventually thanks for stopping by, Kazubun. Right now we're just doing the thumbnails, and then I'll move this into a Bristol board, and we'll start doing real actual pencils. But right now we're just brainstorming. So we got David coming in like that. There's some speed lines. He's biting the wolf right here. This guy's chunking. You know, so that was one. You got the slaughtered lamb right here in the background, the pub. And then there was another one. I kind of really want to do 11 by 17 though. So we got this right here. We got David. Let's see. Because you know how dogs, they can do all kinds of crazy jumps in the air, you know? I was thinking, what if he could do that? We don't see it in the movie, but it's something to think about. He's a big dog. But I am tempted to do that wide shot of this. I kind of like it. It's pretty fun. There's a lot you could do with panoramic, you know. For me, like when I'm doing comic books too, most of my shots are wide shot. They're panoramics because I really like to. if I can, if I have the time and the energy and what have you, I like to see what's going on in the background. I like to have a big wide shot, you know. And usually with the pages like this, they're usually cut up, and you can tell you can do a lot with the wide lens. So there's that right there. It's kind of got that bare body. And the legs are probably something like that. And you look at this, you think it's easy, but you got to respect their anatomy from the movies of the characters. It gets kind of crazy. How's it going, Vanyo? I just done my own character comics of Butch Cleaver and Hell War. I just finished Hell War. I'm working on that right now. I'm going to be printing that next month. That book's about 106 pages. I'm also working on another barbarian comic called Crom the Barbarian. It's going to be an anthology. I just finished the first chapter of that. It's 9 pages. And I'm working on another book called The Puritanian. I've got about 12 pages done on that. So I'm working on a lot of books, and I've got a few books out. Still learning too. I'm not a pro or anything like that. Let's see here. But this is how I start everything. I start everything in a thumbnail like this, because that's where all the meat and the potatoes are at, even in a comic book page. Is it available online? Right now, because I had just a Kickstarter. That one's not available at the moment. But once the backers get their books, I'm going to have my Hell War book up, and everything else will eventually be up on my web store. Right now, my Butch Cleaver books are up on there. Yeah, they're a little pricey, though, because they're the first prints. But once I sell out of those, I'm going to print them again, and I'm going to print them cheaper. I'll probably put them in like a newsprint form, like just really cheap. I'm going to print those books really cheap. I'm going to do But right now, all I have is the first form graphic novels, so they're kind of pricey. They're like 20-something bucks each, and each book is like, I think it's 70 pages or something like that. But they're graphic novels, or perfect bound. But yeah, eventually I'll probably print those and probably print it all in one book and make it like really cheap. And I'll put it on like a staple like floppy, But I did that a long time ago, kind of at this point. It was probably like 6 years ago. The first one was like 2015, so I've grown a lot as an artist. So if I were to go back and I would redo those books, man, they would look way better. So let's see. Up in the air. So what's he gonna do? This guy kind of want to. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Let's see. I'm gonna move over here a little bit. Thinking about. Because I almost feel like the Eddie werewolf, he's a little easier to kind of pose and move around. It's the David the dog one. That one's a little challenging because he's like a wolf dog, or he's like a bear wolf. And I want to get some good like hits in there. Let's see. Maybe if I. Right. Sometimes dogs do these weird things with their legs if you catch a picture of them in the midair, do some weird things with their feet. I'm trying to get that going right there. All right. Good guy right there. Let's see here. Just checked out your work. It's pretty good. I think you should do some tutorials, not for drawing, but for storytelling too. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Maybe when I get a few more books under my belt, a little more street cred, then maybe I will. But thank you. Hey, what's up, Buzz? How you doing, man? So we could have the dog maybe tore a little bit because the thing's got some claws. So you could have the tear right there. And then you can have Eddie like right here. Maybe he, it's easy to have him posing right next to him, you know. Usually when I'm drawing these pictures, there's a lot of little like checklists I have of things I want to see in the drawing, you know. I could draw it, but it's like there's things I want to see. I want to see both their faces. I want to see both of them doing some cool shit, like doing a cool move to each other, you know. So, because their faces are important because, I mean, for the most part, people would know who they were, but I don't know. I just really want people to be like, oh, that's Eddie from the Howling, you know. I'm gonna be drawing it. I think this might be the year of the werewolf, man. I think I might be drawing a bunch of werewolf battles. That'd be fun. This guy's gonna be super thick. All right. And I'm trying not to repeat myself. I like with the same moves. I want to bring in some different moves. It's become shit, bro. Secular Soli. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. All right. So let's see here. So he could be ripping some stuff out like that. All the way like there. And Eddie, that's the problem. Eddie can just kind of have his hand like that. I might even just have Eddie grabbing him, about to come in. Or maybe he did like a rip out of here like that. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, so he's got him. Okay. So it won't be 100% like this, but it'll be a little different. The power, okay, you feel nauseous? Drink some water, man. Drink some water and get a little bit of salt. You feel better. Happens to me all the time. So then there's Eddie, has these big ears like that. He looks like a straight up, sometimes they call him the Wile E. Coyote Wolf. All right. There's that. I think it might have the legs like this. All right, I'm gonna make this guy a little bit bigger, a little thicker. Needs to be bigger. Probably right about, yeah, that could be good. Something like that. We'll come in here and clean it up a little bit. Still not digging that. Still not digging that too much. I might. Let's see here. Yeah, this is actually that's kind of the hardest part because you got to get the layout just right. I almost feel like you would have to have him biting him a little bit. Dang. A little bit. Well, thanks, Cass. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's just, try not to just do the trying to do more of like clawing and tearing at each other. I think that's what I want to see, But this dude's David's got a straight up dog body, so that's a little harder. When you got something that's more anthropomorphic rather than you're dealing with a quadruped. He's a quadruped, so it's a little harder. And then after I do this, I'm going to check out photo reference of the actual anatomy of the characters, and then I might have to scale some stuff back too. But right now, I'm not trying to like put limitations on what I want to do. I'm trying to go like full at it, Trying to just go from memory. Okay. So I could probably have him like kind of clawing at this a little bit. Have his face kind of going like that. The way that we know the face is going that way. I could deal with that. And then I definitely have the mouth open like that. I know it looks retarded right now, guys, but it'll look a little better once I start getting the pencils in there and figuring it out. This is a challenge. I thought it was going to be easier. It's not. So we have that. It's definitely going to be holding him by the neck like that. Come here. I actually want to draw a fight. I want to write a comic of this, because I don't feel it's fair. Like I want to draw a couple moves, That would be pretty wild, though. I've never done that before. Like do a sequence, an actual just sequence, and I could probably do it like on 11x17 and just kind of break it up into 3 like that. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of come in there and have like 3 little separate fights, but I don't think I'm going to do that. All right. I don't think I'm going to do this either. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Claw on his face. Okay. his face. He's got him by the neck. So we got a neck pull and then a face claw. So and I might even have to do the long ways one. I don't want to though. It's goofy as fuck right now, but we'll get it. We will get it. I'll get it eventually. Yeah, it's gotta be like that. Boom, boom. Gotta have the action. You could even have a little, like you clawed him a little bit right there. All right, so we got boom, boom, boom. A little bit of that. And you don't want him to look like a stupid dog, like that's getting manhandled by a werewolf. You know, even if it is a bear dog or a bear wolf, he's gotta look cool. Like you don't want him to be holding him up like a cat by his fur. Basically, is what I'm saying. He is kind of doing that. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't want him to look. I don't want David to look weak, because in reality, I like Eddie's. You know, I like the Howling more. But I think David would win. Like I was saying, he would grab him by the leg and bite his leg off, and then Eddie would fall over, and then he would just devour him. His big core, he's just too strong. So I gotta make it look like, yeah, sucks. Sucks when you think about it. I think that Lawrence Talbot though, Benicio del Toro, I think he could take everybody out. The Wolfman. Because he has the best of both worlds. He's bipedal and he's quadruped. I wonder if I could get this leg up here, like having him claw with his foot too up on his rib cage. That'll work. Yeah. It's weird because like dogs and cats, their arms and legs are kind of in a weird U shape like that, where they're kind of connected to their pecs. You know, they can't like really spread. I mean, they can, but not like humans. It's different. Things kind of like connected. I don't remember if he has a tail. And I'm probably gonna bring it back down here a little bit. Let's go like that. Werewolves are so cool. I'm gonna start. I think this year I might start doing some more just singular character drawings, just for fun. I'm starting to get the itch for that now. I don't really do it that much, but I'm doing it more. Let's see, gotta clean this up. A little too much noise right here. Too much noise right there. All right. All right. Boom, boom. So they're both getting their legs in. Right now, I'm so tempted to just look at a drawing of a dog jumping. I'll do that in a little bit. So I do that a lot. I'll have a character that's like running up on another character, like parkour, and he's shooting him in the face or doing some cool shit. But I do that a lot, so I kind of want to do something different. But usually when you're dealing with like werewolves and stuff like that, they usually, you know, they're gonna do that. They're gonna kick and scream and fight a giant like that. You know, they're gonna run up it. So let me see if I can. Yeah. Sometimes you just kind of start squiggling, or yeah, things around, and you'll start to see things in the that you can kind of use, you know. But the anatomy, you have to remember the limitations of it. Let me just see what this is like right here. So there's that. I mean, he looks a little badass like that, a little more because he's kind of jumping at him a little bit. I'm gonna have to draw him a little smaller or do the wide. I kind of want to do the wide shot though. That might be fun, but I want him to be bigger. That's another thing, because when you're doing 11 by 17 like that, you can only draw him so tall, and I kind of want him to be. That's why I like the 11. Or sorry, when you're doing the 17 by 11 like that, you can only draw them so the height is a factor. You know, you can get that full shot of the background, which is dope. But with the traditional 11 by 17 comic book style, or just, you know, you can do more. Yeah, I mean, you can see the characters more. I want that. I really do. Let me see here. And his mouth's gonna be open. You're gonna see his teeth. All the saliva is gonna be coming out. Same thing with him. He's gonna be getting smacked, like clawed in his face. It's gonna look like he got clawed once, and then another one. He might even have a little rip out of there too, out of his guts. He might be pulling his guts out a little. Yeah. Oh shit. I don't know. Like it's been pretty, as far as like people that have been talking about it. Some people think Eddie would win. A lot of people think David would win. I guess it really just depends. Let's see. So we got that right there. Maybe I can. Yeah. This is the tricky part right here. Tricky. Yeah, I don't think either of them have tails either. I could be wrong though. This guy's got the leg like that. Kind of, they both got those dog legs, those canine legs. It's so thick. Crazy. Crazy. Okay. That would be this like this right here will be fun. This would be a fun thing to do. So yeah, I gotta get him some more. That might be pretty cool, actually. That might be good. That might be good. So we have this right here. If we draw the picture about, because this is going to be pretty wide. It's going to have to be like kind of small. So the problem. We'll like take up the whole page. Probably be like something like that. Something like this. It was on 11 by 17. And you can have the place right here. Slaughtered lamb. With the sign right there. Something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. I'm gonna look for a little photo ref of the of just dogs in general jumping through the air. I think that could be pretty cool. So what I do, try to use my mind as much as possible, but takes a while. Let's see here. You gotta look into something else. Sometimes they do some crazy jumps. Might have to do the actual bite. That sucks. I don't want to do it, but it's looking like it. Jumping. I just need to look at his claws. Yeah, his claws are pretty big, dude. See, he's got some big claws. Yeah, those are like bear. Those are like bear claws. Yeah, the legs are a little different for sure. A little more humanoid in some ways. It's hard finding the right ref for it. It's one cool thing about the toys too. You can sometimes they show pretty good. They call it the Kessler Wolf. David Kessler. There's a bunch of toys of it now. Whole bunch of toys. So he would have he could literally put his hand up right here. So it's a good thing that you know the anatomy of the character of the wolf character. So now I'm looking at it, he can totally have his hand up right there. Have his big ass head right there. He's got like kind of smaller ears. And then the arms are a little different. Arms I can actually have come back out like that. Because he has some form of a little bit of human stuff going on right there. There's a long so I can clean this up a little bit. Might even have him just straight up jumping. Could be like right there. Like that. This thing's got a wide stance. His shoulders are wide too. Could have him coming out like this. See, sometimes you got to get the anatomy. I'm trying to draw a regular wolf or a dog, and it ain't like that. Yeah, it's a pretty cool wolf, man. It's a pretty cool wolf. Yeah, he can get the. You can bring his hand up pretty high next to his face. Right about there would be what we're looking for. Right about there. Get that area right there. Get the big ass claw coming out right about there. Got the little ears like that. Big old mouth. Maybe something like that. This thing has a big fucking mouth. Big old mouth. Some big old claws too coming. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. I think we're in business now. Tails are cool, but then they're also like, you don't really need a tail on a werewolf, right? You don't have to have one. Damn, I want this toy. Oh, it's so cool. With the slaughtered lamb look. Isn't that cool? Oh man. There's so many toys I want. I want to get these, like I want to get the Bram Stoker Dracula ones. The Howling toys. They just came out with the Howling toys. So then this guy's got some air right here too, so that's what we're dealing with. And then he got a little rip out of the belly right here. He got his face. And then we're gonna have to do a little something else too. See if he's throwing that arm back that way. He's taking the hit. Boom. His arm's coming up. Could just have him kind of just with the arm out like that. I might even. Yeah, at that point. So he got his rippings right there. He gets his rippings right here. It's a lot of rippings. Got some out of his back right here too. Like a back rip. I think that could be cool, man. We got the air right there. He's in midair. We got the slaughtered lamb right here in the background. The SL right there. Slaughtered lamb. All right. I think we're in business. Ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what I want to rock. This right here. There we go. That right there. That's what I want. I finally got it. I'm a dumb. I should have checked for reference. Only took me about an hour to do it. Maybe just look for the reference. Sometimes, but hey, I got that out of there. I didn't have to reference. I'm gonna have to ref him for the anatomical purposes, but I got Eddie's body movements and his attack. He's basically gonna be ripping his guts out and ripping his back, and then he'll be ripping out his pecs, and he'll be clawing off part of Eddie's face a little bit too. So they're both getting their licks in. That's exactly what I want. I want there to, if you can nail like two little moves by each character, at least one, while they're in motion. I haven't checked the results yet, but right now, since I've checked them on Twitter and YouTube, they're both kind of tied at the most part. Tied up. So I ain't gonna lie. I usually like my battles to have a good little tie. You know, unless it's something I'm really like, yeah, I don't like this character. I'm gonna have them kind of get wiped out. Then I might have Matt getting their ass beat a little bit. But I always try to like make it somewhat of an equal battle. So I like to have people that fight each other when they're doing battle. They're kind of equal. They're sized up. I don't want it to be like a complete utter beatdown. No, it's got to be somewhat. It's got to be a beatdown, but not like you gotta have them matched up in size, some way, form or another. At least power structure or something like Bad Ash with the Necronomicon versus Sauron. Like for me, that was kind of right there. It's pushing it, but it still was a little bit sized up. I guess I'll leave that. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Looking at my board, making sure what side do I want to use. Okay, I made some sausage bagels today, so that's the one we're gonna go with right there. Maybe let me keep it up here. All right. All right. Try to make this nice and sturdy. Maybe I can put it on this side. That might be better. Let's try that out. This right here. That right there. Okay. Maybe a little better. Okay. So, got these guys right here. Now I'm just going to basically line everything up. And then I'm going to need a ruler. Basically, you're going to have it like right here. I'm just doing a basic bitch 1 point perspective, just for fun. That's how I do these 90% of the time. Want it to look like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. It's a 2D fighter. Okay. Primarily need to get stuff on this side, so. That'd be crazy if I had the most werewolf beatdowns. I do want to draw some werewolves, though. I ain't gonna lie. I want to start getting into the devoted sketchbooks for different topics. I'll have to slide this guy over a little bit. Like that. Okay. Cool. So we have that. And then I want the slaughtered lamb to be up here. So I'm trying to think of how tall Eddie is, man. He's got to be at least 7 feet tall. So it's a good way to think about it is if he's, for those of you guys that don't know, when you're drawing superheroes, I think they're usually about 8 feet tall. they're eight heads. That's right. And most humans, I think, are like 6 or 7. But probably put him right here, maybe. I might make him a little taller than he's supposed to be. Let's see, we got that right there. This is going to be mean looking. Okay. I got his head right here. And he's going to be kind of doing a little side thing. All right, then we're going to have maybe we'll have the slaughtered lamb right here. It's important. I don't remember how it really was, but I want to try to make it look pretty cool. There's that. Try to get in there like that a little bit. Boop. So the door would probably be like right here, or maybe even have it kind of sticking out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. Probably put it like right. He's going to be kind of short. Put the door right there, something like that. And then we'll probably put it over here. Something like that. The sign will make it extra big because it's just, we're putting it in there for fun. But yeah, I want the slaughtered lamb right there. There we go. Okay. And they probably got a little door right there. Like that. Door handle. Something like that. I gotta go back and check, but something like that. For the door. So they're right there in front of the slaughtered lamb. And they have the freaking Moors out here. Mountains are probably something like that. Let's see. Okay. So now we're in a space. Looking at this right here. I'm going to try to emulate that. Have his big fucking ears like that. And they're probably gonna be coming down like this. He's like a coyote wolf. You should show you pictures of there's so many coyotes out here where I live. They come out during the middle of the day now because they're so hungry. You'll see them at like 1 o'clock. That was a new record. For a while, it was like 4 o'clock. Like, what are you doing? Literally walking right by my kid. Kid's playing outside and it's walking by. Like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, let's try that again. Kind of like that a little more. See the claws, you know. There's claws in there. Okay. Really don't know what his anatomy's like, but we will figure it out. All right. Okay, might have been a little different. All right, let's try this. Yeah. Okay, had that all messed up. Let's try it like this. Yeah, like that. The anatomy is all messed up. All right, now I go like that. Clean my eraser. All right. I don't know what I was thinking. All right. There we go. Okay. Something like that. Okay. There we go. Do a little more of that. There we go. Okay. Now forward. Try to get a little bit more of a broader stance. Characters always look cooler when their stance is broader. You know, makes them look more powerful. Have to whoop some ass. So. We'll see. See how that goes. I gotta look at the anatomy for him 100%. All right, let's get that hand in there. All right. Got the big Kessler wolf right here. I want a boba. I want a boba. Okay, we got that right there. We get the pec right here. This guy's got a big. So you want to have you want your figures like a cartoon, you know, no matter how realistic it is. If you're drawing cartoony or comic booky stuff or anime, you want to get that elasticity in there, that rubberiness for your action. I think that's my opinion. That's my humble opinion. You don't want it to be stiff. Okay, let's see. I'll just put that hole right there for his mouth. That way it looks a little more kind of like All right. Those circles. Yeah, sometimes I just want to draw the characters, you know, just by themselves and traditional stuff. But it's like you Google that stuff and you just see like all the things that have been done already and they look beautiful. Like pretty much anything you could think of, you know, any character in any media, someone's drawn it or painted it like beautifully perfect, even without AI, mind you. So it's like, what can I bring to the table? You know, I'm always thinking of that. So I always, you know, you want to be original. You want to have original stuff. You don't want to force it either. You want it to come naturally. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. There we go. Now we're getting in a little Wolvie territory. Okay. And then he will be ripping up the back right there. I might even poop like that. Bring it up a little higher. Boom. 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 Kind of want to get that. Bend those fingers back a little bit for the motion, you know. Just kind of looking for that weird finger. Just throwing his arms back. Might do that. Might just do the regular. Just kind of like this stuff's coming up right here. Here the claws are going in the opposite direction in the layout. They're going that way. I might do that. But I kind of wanted to make it look like he ripped it and just kind of flicked his fingers back like, yeah, you know. Same thing with his hand, like, ah, like he's thrown the shit out of the way. Like he's clawing, ripping, tearing, and then tossing. Tossing that shit. Like he's drilling, tearing a hole in the dirt, you know? You know, like the dogs are, man. With that big. Oh, there's this movie that I want to watch with Kane Hodder. I don't know if you guys who's watching right now, but we're in the replay. But it's basically like he's a werewolf Terminator. I forgot the name of it though, but everyone's been talking about it. I want to watch it. It's like a mutant werewolf Terminator. Let me check that out. Let's see. Okay, so we have that. Good to go. Now we got to put up our gut boundaries. So we don't want to draw too much stuff that if it's going to get covered with, you're going to need to draw some stuff in the background, but you want to be wary of it. Like, oh man. That's something I'm always trying to get better at is like if I'm drawing a big fight and there's all this gore and all this crap going on, you know, you want to be able to break it up right, especially in black and white. So I might have him do like a throat rip or something instead of a gut one because there's too much. It's starting to get too confusing. So I have him do this right here. I have him going for his guts. It's a little better. There we go. Foop, 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 foop. There we go. The gore. Okay. Oh man, this is fun. Can't wait to see when it's done. to fix the arm a little bit. All right. Thinking I'm digging this so far. It could be wrong, but okay. So now we got the pretty much have the frames in there. We got the action in there. He's getting the throat and the back. He's getting the face and the belly. And yeah, we'll start. Might even do the thing a little different too, the claws. I think I kind of liked them a little more like this. Going at that angle like that. Get off my little eraser. I'm going like that. A little curvature. Bring this one up here a little. Like that. And this one's probably going to be somewhere along those lines like that. All right. All right. Ooh, it's going to look mean. This is going to be mean machine right here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get some reference. Probably going to start referencing Eddie. With that being said, I'm going to do a little bit of that. Get my tablet out. Okay. Some really good art out there about Eddie from the Howling. Look at that. Pretty scary, huh? That looks pretty good. Some cool toys too. Sometimes he looks really cool, and sometimes he looks scary, depending on the lighting and whatnot. He looks scarier than. Yeah, there's just a lot of times he looks a little different. Like that one, it looks scary too. A lot of different angles. Yeah. There we go. It's getting there a little bit. I think Eddie looks the scariest in that one scene when he just kind of the transformation scene. There's a lot of different angles that look scary. This is the one I got for the thumbnail. He looks pretty scary right there. Yeah. They like kind of brought him back too, but see, he looks almost different right here, right? That was like the they kind of brought him back, and then the toy. They have different toys. The toys look a little different. The toys look cool. You know, the toys look cool, but I don't think that's Eddie because in the movie, there's different werewolves. I just think that's one of them from like from the commune. It's just like the breed, but Eddie looks scarier, man. He's like even dirtier. He's a serial killer. Yeah, I think his is a little different. I think his eyes are a little closer together. Yeah, that's it from back in the day, right there. Look at that. That's when Nicotero redid it, put together. You can see one of the eyes is up higher a little than the other eye. Little stuff like that. His just looks a little different. He's pretty tall. Pretty tall. Okay. Wow. Almost look like demon wolves, man. Those ears like that. The coyote ears. Yeah. So with that being said, I don't know. Yeah, might have to come down like this a little bit. I get these proportions. I knew the proportions were going to be off. Got long torso like that. I was pretty close actually. Let's see here. All right. Let's look at the toy. There we go. Much better. What's up, Black? I remember watching the American Werewolf movies when I was too young to watch them. Seem to remember London being better than Paris. Yeah, it was. Because when they did the Paris one, it was mostly CGI. But it was still like a fun movie in the 90s, you know? Like it was still fun. Like CGI just came out. Um, but I mean, watching the movie, you're like, it was. I mean, I thought it was pretty fun, but it could have been greater, you know. Okay. Yeah, this where that's like a prime wolf from there, like from the Howling. Eddie's a little more kind of more raggedy, you know, compared to the other ones. Plus, she pours like acid on him, I think, from what I remember. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of this right here. Yeah, because some of them from the commune, you know, they're bigger and stronger, bigger people. Yeah, they're remaking that movie too, The Howling. Some movies just don't need to be remade, man. I think it's just kind of good the way it is, personally. I just don't see how they're going to top the. I don't see how they're going to top Rob Boutein's special effects. Like I said, remakes are cool, but you're going to have to top. You're going to have to top it. You know, I don't. I don't think they could top The Howling. That's one of those movies. I don't. I don't think it could be topped. There's some movies out there that some people think that are unfilmably. Like, there's no way you can make a better version of it. You know, and I would be like, yeah, you could do a better version of that. One of them is Escape from New York. Yeah, I think there could be. They could do more with that. I think the character's cool and someone can play him just as good. I always felt that like Escape from New York, like for me, like again, because I don't know if it's because I'm into wrestling and like action, like fight movies and like martial arts movies. You know, I always thought those two movies were lacking. There wasn't any enough fights. In New York, he fights to do with the in the ring with the bat. You know, that was cool. And the second one, there wasn't any fight scenes at all. You know, and like if I did, I would. Yeah, I think Escape from New York. There's a lot you could do with that. I would hire his son too. I would hire Wyatt Russell to play Snake Plissken. He'd be my first choice. Yeah, Escape from Chicago. Let's see here. That was during a Werewolf craze time. I think Silver Bullet was around the same time. Yeah, Silver Bullet's awesome too. Escape from Chicago. Yeah, right. Escape from Space. Snakes Escape. But yeah, a lot of people are like, that's so precious to them. Oh, why would you want to do that? It's a cool character. That's why. It's like, why would you want to do Batman again? Michael Keaton already played him. It's like, I don't know. Let's I don't know. Ben Affleck might be all right, or maybe Christian Bale. Let's give them a shot. No, fuck that. Michael Keaton's the best. Do not remake Batman. It's like some characters are really cool and they could be remade. Again, if it was up to me, I would hire I would make a third movie, and I would bring in Kurt Russell. If he didn't want to do it, I would probably do a sequel or a reboot with his son. And if they wouldn't want to do it, I would cast a new actor for Snake Plissken. And I know for a while that Gerard Butler was going to play Snake Plissken. And a lot of people were like, "Oh God, no." But at the same time, you can make a cool new character, come up with a new premise. You don't have to do that. But again, I think a lot of these movies would be cool if they had fight scenes in them. But yeah, Gerard Butler was, I thought he would have been a good Snake. He's kind of got that. He's a good actor. It's like, no, Leonidas can't play Snake Plissken, He's pretty badass in 300, dude. Especially that one 2D shot where he's got the spear and he's fucking everybody up, and you're looking at like, yeah, he could play Snake Plissken. And also too, I think would be kind of good, but out of Michael Fassbender, you can imagine him as Snake Plissken. Like, he's easy to imagine, But yeah, definitely more kookiness, over the top shit. It's almost like you need like Uwe Boll to do an Escape from New York. You need a director that's got balls and it's gonna do some weird shit, and make it a little politically, a little political commentary on it, Do you like Escape from fucking Paris, right? Like you said, it was Escape from Paris. Somewhere in like Europe, right? Escape from Germany. That would be pretty dope, actually. You could put some castles in there. You could have some fucking reincarnated fucking Nazis and shit. He could be like fighting. He could do all kinds of weird gonzo, like just off the wall shit. Have some fun with it for fuck's sake. Yeah, that would be pretty dope, actually. But I just think it's a cool character. Same thing with Ash. Part of me is like, don't do that. Just make new characters. Sometimes though, like, I don't know, man. I'm a little on the fence because I would like to see another Snake Plissken movie, and if it was cool, that'd be cool. It's gonna happen anyway, so you might as well, like, Scott Snyder's doing it. It's gonna look good, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got like Gerard Butler or somebody. I just hope he doesn't get like Batista or fucking Jason Momoa or The Rock, or you know what I mean. I hope he gets somebody like Fassbender or Gerard Butler or something like that, or hopefully Wyatt. But he doesn't. Russell doesn't want to do Escape from New York anymore. He's over it. Let's see here. Wasn't Chicago mentioned in the first film? Yeah, I think it is in the first film in that secret scene, that heist. That's a background from the Windy City. Yeah, I'm fine with recast. In fact, I think it should be done more often. Never hurt Bond, really. Yeah, exactly, dude. Right? Like some of these characters are just so cool that like I'm down to see more more adventures with them, And how long ago was it for Snake? I mean, that's like 50, 60, 70 years ago, right? I mean, how long ago did Escape from New York come out? So, I mean, his son is in, Wyatt's actually in Escape from LA. And he named him Wyatt right after Tombstone, I think. After I seen Wyatt in Overlord, I was like, okay, that guy could probably play Snake, He's playing a soldier. And then when I seen him play like Captain America, I'm like, oh yeah, he's got it. Or whatever, the Agent Zero or whatever his name is. Like he's got it. He could definitely do it. He's just not an A-lister, so New York was 81. Oh, okay. Feels like it was longer. Oh, it's because they were filming it in like 79. That's why. I remember on the special features. I have the DVD, and the DVD came with an advertisement for Snake's Escape. It was going to be on. I think it was going to be on Dreamcast. That's how long ago it was that I got that DVD. I think it was Dreamcast. But yeah, no, I could see Gerard Butler as Snake Plissken, you know. But I don't know. He's a little older now. Fassbender's got that crazy, you need that kind of crazy badass, right? And they were both crazy fucking Spartans, dude. And you could kind of see him with the eye patch and the hair, you know. They could, yeah, I could see that. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind him being Snake Plissken like Scottish, you know. Yeah, that would be fine with that. I would have no problem with them having a Scottish accent. They wouldn't, but I think it would be kind of cool. It would be something different, you know. Or you could do, yeah, no. You kind of need that character. It's hard. It's hard to make a character that badass in that world. That's what I was saying. Like with Evil Dead, if you're gonna recast, they could recast Ash, but I almost feel like they need to make a new character in Evil Dead that's as badass as Ash. That's kind of hard. But you're not gonna make that could. It'd be hard to make a character as cooler than Snake Plissken with the eye patch and he's just so cool. U.S. Agent was the only time I actually really read Capped as a kid. Started with the Scourge crossovers and read it for a few years. Never liked Cap, but I did like Agent. That Agent Taskmaster suddenly cool too. Yeah, he's cool. Like he's really cool when done right. The Taskmaster and that Agent. It's always cool when someone kind of takes that character and makes it a little more. I don't know, a little more badass. What else was it? For me, my favorite version of Venom was the Rick Remender and Tony Moore Agent Venom. I thought that was great, And I'm not gonna lie, like I love all types of comics and stuff. Like growing up, I'm like Saturday morning cartoon kid right here, So and I loved Venom. I loved the Spider-Man cartoon. And when they put out, I think it was probably like 15 years ago, Rick Remender did the Agent Venom storyline with Flash Thompson, where he goes to war and you find out he loses his legs and he actually, Venom bonds, the symbiote bonds better with him and then more with Eddie, I guess. We're about the same. He sticks around with him for a long time. And he becomes a hero. It's like he has a better arc than Peter Parker. He gets beaten by his dad, his alcoholic cop father at night. Then, during the day, he's a bully at school. He's like a football player. He picks on Parker, but Parker, his number one idol is Spider-Man, but then he finds out later on Spider-Man is Peter, so that fucks with his head a little bit. And he wants to be a hero, so he joins the army and he saves a bunch of people and gets his legs blown off in the process and comes back home and he's a paraplegic and alcoholic. And Nick Fury gives him a deal to get the symbiote and it gives him legs and he he just looks cool. He looks badass. And they had him fighting all these monsters, man. So it was really cool. And the artist that did Walking Dead, Tony Moore, the first 6 issues, he has a really cool, like dirty, squiggly style, and it was really good. And it was just fun. It was a fun book, and the character design was the coolest type of thing I'd seen in a long time. I forgot about that. He basically looked like Spawn without a cape, but all black. That was a cool character. That was a cool character arc. But yeah, like you said, like another kind of soldier type character that wasn't, yeah. But yeah, I don't want to die and not have another escape movie, Bring John Carpenter in as a producer. I'm sure he'd be down. I've been watching like interviews with him, and it's like, I think he's kind of like, they never call me and stuff like that, like never talk to me. He's got a new comic coming out too called Cathedral. It's like a horror, like a cult noir type book. It's gonna come out with it's coming out with a metal album too to go with it. He's doing it with his son. It looks pretty dope. I saw him on Billy Corgan's podcast. He was interviewing him. It was pretty cool. Let's see here. Getting there with the teeth. Yeah, the new werewolf movie looks good. Looking forward to that. Hopefully I can open up some presents and then go watch that movie on Christmas. They did Nosferatu. I think that's what we did. It's like after you like make breakfast and open the presents, you're kind of just waiting around for dinner. That's like the perfect time to go to the movies on Christmas, you know, if you're not working. Let's see here. Yeah, I wanted to do a werewolf book at one point. A couple werewolf books. Got some ideas. Sometimes you get ideas and you got to jump on them. Otherwise, someone else is gonna do it before you. You know. Got to stay on your ideas. So a lot of us think the same stuff. You know, a lot of us like the same shit. So we like kind of come up with the same things. Even for like videos, I had a video topic I was gonna do, and I seen some dude just did it today. I'm like, damn. Like, well, I'm not gonna do that now. It kind of kills it sometimes when someone else does it, and you're like, Or what the worst thing is when you're like 2/3 of the way through production and someone else comes out with a similar thing as you. It's like, damn, like really, really close to it. You're like, fuck. Oh well, you gotta stick to your guns. Let's see here. It happens. We like the same shit, you know. That's why you should never tell people what you're working on. I know, right? Like ever. You should never ever tell them. There's some stuff that I have out there where I tell people. Now I just kind of I'll hint that stuff, but I'm not even gonna hint it really anymore. Because even little baby spoilers, you know. But at the same time too, you kind of want to like get people prepared for it. So you have to find a way to like kind of build some momentum for it, build a little hype if your shit's cool, you know. If people like your stuff. Everything needs a little hype behind it, but you have to do it in a way that's not spoiling it until you got like a trailer out, you know. Crazy world times we're living in. We can make trailers for our books and our channels and stuff like that. They made a Snake Plissken Escape from New York sequel comic. I picked that up through I think Dark Horse did it. It was pretty cool. I think it was in like Russia. The whole I think it was in Russia and then Miami. I think they made a few issues. They also did a Big Trouble in Little China. I think with Eric Powell. I think he did it. That one was pretty good. Yeah. One's got a lot of teeth in this picture. Let's see here. Don't show what you're working on until it's coming out pretty soon, you know? Until it's almost out anyways. The way you're in the clear, you're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna worry about this so much. All right. What's that? Right. The Howling. If you guys haven't seen The Howling, do yourself a favor, man. Go watch it. It's great. My favorite werewolf movie. Aside from like The Wolfman, I really like that. Okay. There we go. We're gonna get this like that. It's a little meaner. All right. Kessler Wolf's gonna be a little crazier too. I think the arm kind of comes out of here too. Got to move that arm around a little bit. Always messing with the anatomy. There we go. There we go. This guy's got a big neck. This wolf's very particular. You got to be really careful with the details. Right. So cool. Such a brilliant design on these werewolves, both of them. You really don't appreciate it until you go and watch the Howling. Those fucking ears, man. So Wrightson. When Wrightson did do the Silver Bullet too, that was pretty crazy. Was it the Cycle of a Werewolf? Yeah, that's what it was. There we go. Now it's looking a little more like Eddie. They did do a Howling comic too, a sequel. Does pick up after the lady. There's that crazy like kind of nympho lady in there. She's like the queen, I guess. Queen of the castle, queen of the commune. All right, let's see. A lot of hair could come off there like that. All right, we'll look at the. That's cool, man. Yeah, I want to get one of the Howling toys. I want to get that NECA one. I think that's the coolest looking one I've seen. Oh, repainted? Hmm. Yeah, this thing is all eggs, man. It really is. Probably even up here a little more. It's wild. It's like maybe even boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Something like that. I gotta look at one of the reference. Because the toy's cool, but it's like, I gotta look at more of the live action reference. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of hair out of there like that. Yeah, cool, man. This is fun. This dude had some big shoulders too, bro. Can't sleep on the shoulders. Right. Where's the? I mean, we're pretty long too. Yeah, no, I think I might have had it just about right. Right. Some toenails right here. So fun. It's fun just drawing monsters for change. It never gets old, man. I mean, I guess everything gets old, but let's see here. What we got? Okay. Give him some pretty decent sized toenails, I think. I made four or five. Let's see. Oh, that's four. Okay. Yeah. They really do some liberties on the toys, and everyone kind of puts a little bit of their influence in there. Thanks for hitting the like, guys. You're awesome. What's that? Boom, boom, boom. All right. Muscle in there. All right. Start coming in there with some little eraser. Time to karatecize this eraser right here. All right. Well, I got the Eddie Wolf in there for the most part. Next time I'm gonna start working on the Kessler Wolf, the David one. So let's do that. Then we'll start adding in a little bit of the gore and whatnot. I think it'll be fun. But thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Everyone that hung out and checked it out and whatnot. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow we can do it again. Thanks everybody for watching. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. See you guys next time. Damn Gardner, man. Stay metal.